The Murfreesboro City Schools, as well as the state of Tennessee, is pushing a new program that focuses on improving childhood literacy by parents reading to their children.
The main focus of Read 20 is for parents to sit down with their children and have that one-on-one time with them in their lap, enjoying a book. And so one of the things that we're asking in our community is for students and their parents to read 20 minutes a day from the time children are born. Because what we know is that our brains use the language centers of the areas to read later. And so with parents talking to their children and reading with their children, it really prepares their brain for that reading instruction. I think the main push in that is we're seeing children coming in less ready for school. And so there are lots of reasons. One reason is parents aren't reading to their children. We're seeing a lot of technology time, tablets, phones, that sort of thing. So it's just a time to put those things away and sit down with your child with a book. If you can get 3, 4, 5 minutes at a time, just several times over the course of the day, and at bedtime it might be a little bit longer. That can be a really good bedtime routine. You're going to get more bang for your buck because it's going to be hard for a young child to sit that long. So first thing, pointing to the words while you're reading, having the child point to the pictures, talking back and forth about the pictures in the story. So we have resources that will really list out all those tips for reading with your child to make it a really good experience.
Dr. Seuss books made rhyming popular in children's books. We asked how rhyming words help reading development.
Rhyming is word play, and so what that does is it has the student manipulating the language and playing with the language. So two things, it's developing those language centers by that manipulation, but it's also teaching that enjoyment of reading.
Dodson explains the reading level 3- and 4-year-old children should be at to be ready for kindergarten.
At age 3, your child should be able to point to the pictures. They start understanding that the story is in the words and not the pictures. They know the pictures are describing the words. And so as a parent's reading and pointing to the words, they can say, I think you know that word. Or if it's the letter A, the word A, they might say, oh, look, that's a word too. And so just pointing those things out.
English as a second language parents wonder if reading in their native language to their children will be detrimental to them trying to learn English.
Many families don't want to read to their child, let's say in Spanish, if we're talking about a Spanish-speaking family, because they feel like they want their child to speak English. But what we know is that reading to their child in Spanish increases those language centers of the brain, whether it's English or Spanish. And so reading to their child in their native language is absolutely fine, and they should do that.
Dodson gives some examples of games you can play with your child to continue to sharpen their reading skills.
In the grocery store, so as you're walking through the produce section, most children know bananas, apples, but do they know kumquat or a pear? And so really increasing their vocabulary that way. So just talking with your child while you're out and about. What we see is children receiving a lot of commands with language. Do this, sit down, go brush your teeth. Whereas it's more of that serve and return language where you say something, the child responds. The child says something, you respond. And so having those conversations like we would have with an adult are important with your child. Also, anytime you're waiting, we do a lot of waiting at pediatrician's office, those types of things. Have a book with you and sit down and read with your child.